Oh, hey, it's working. I'm not sure what YouTube's doing, but cool. I'm gonna start in like, what does that say right there? Almost 4 minutes. Byram, what's up? Hey, good. I'm doing good. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. I'll wait. Can I do this? Yes. Look at that. There you are, right over there. Awesome. Glad you're here. Yeah, good to hang out. Um, I am so tired. So tired today. I actually considered just kind of canceling this, and because I know this is going to be kind of hard for me because I don't know much about this topic. But I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. Let's go for it. But yeah, I'd love to hear how you're doing. I'm gonna pull up some links real quick. Test runner storybook. I think we'll just focus on test runner today. There's the play functions as well, which is a different way of testing things, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Test runner. It looks like there's a ton of stuff here. I know that there was a post recently. Storybookjs.org. We're going to go to the blog, pick up a post on test. Let's see. Are there author pages? No author pages. Let's see. I know it was by Varun. Automatic accessibility test with Storybook. That could be a part of this. Let me see if there's a test runner page or blog post. No. Okay, cool. All right. I think that's good enough for now. Oh, nice. Day off. Sweet. What are you doing for your day off? I swear, getting a head start on the weekend is such a great way to go. I'm trying to get all my work done and end earlier and earlier on Fridays because it's a good play. I feel like weekends are always too short. Saturday, Sunday, too short. But even if you can get like, I don't know, get out by 2:30, it kind of sets the tone just right, you know? Like kids are done with school and just kick it. Kick it. All right, we got 50 seconds left, and then we're gonna do this thing. I need to come up with like a screen, maybe some music. I'll have to look into Canva for that. I've been doing the silliest stuff with Canva right now on the Storybook site. 30 seconds, yeah, let's do it. YouTube.com Storybook. Yeah, look at all this. Look at all this madness. Look at this. Look at this silly guy doing silly things with his stupid face. uh, nice. That's awesome. You know, I swear. Okay, so meal planning is like this huge unlock, like for real. Uh, we did it this week, and I felt great about it. I knew exactly what the evening was gonna look like. Amazing, amazing. Adult things. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, hello. Welcome to this stream with me. It's going to be pretty chill today. I am just, just hanging here with Byron. We're gonna, learn about some test runner stuff. Um, my goal today is the next YouTube video that I'm going to make for the Storybook channel is on setting up tests. So I thought that I would just kind of explore the concept. I've never actually set up Test Runner before inside of Storybook. So my goal is to kind of suss out all of the things that need to be set up and some of the concepts. So that's it. That's what we're doing today. Pretty simple. So I found 2 documents already. There is the add-on page for the Storybook test runner. So that's going to be something that we will probably explore. And then also there is a document, a blog post that my friend Varun made, talking about how to test accessibility using the test runner. I believe it uses the test runner. Yeah, Jest, Storybook test runner, and Axe Playwright. So we might go through that. Accessibility might be a good lens to go through this with. Honestly, I'm not sure what the angle is going to be. I just want to make sure that I have something that helps people get set up with this. So some of my high level goals are going to be just what's the setup? Also, I'm using this new font because I was trying to share some of the educational stuff I've been working with on vertical mediums. So think like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. And I was finding that I wanted to condense more and more. So I'm using condensed font right now. I'm not sure how I feel about it personally. I mean, I like the capability that it adds, but it's a little weird. A little weird, not gonna lie. Okay, cool. So what's the setup? I think, what does it unlock? Unlock? Like, why should somebody care? I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like, why should you care about being able to run tests? What it isn't. I think the test runner, it's just only, so that's a thing, right? You can't use it with other things. Anthony, what's up? Hold on. Chan, that's me. Anthony, that's you. So, yeah, any questions? Multiple H1s. Oh, you're right. that is the notioner in me. I do a lot of H1s in Notion. Okay, cool. Is that better? Okay, cool. So we have, look at that. Fixed. Hashtag fixed. Okay. Just like me, I got fixed a few years ago. Okay, cool. Let's do this. So I have, let's see what we got here. So this right here, this, boop. Oh man. One thing that is a bummer about the key bindings for Markdown files is like B usually opens the sidebar, and I have to do it with other keyboard shortcuts. So this will be Storybook test runner. Okay, Storybook test runner. We got my notes. I generated this from a terminal command, which is actually a really cool way to set up Storybook projects, which is, if I can find it, boop, 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 boop. Oh my gosh, so much stuff that happens. NPX Storybook Repro. It's for reproductions, but it actually works out really well for just kind of spinning up a storybook really quickly without having to have an app. Storybook kind of requires that you have an app set up in order to NPX Storybook install. NPX Storybook Repro is great because it just makes an app for you, which is awesome. And then I have it set up using Vite React, which is awesome. Inner Markdown editor. And Anthony, Vite. I'm using Vite. How are you stoked? Vite. So yeah, Vite and Storybook really work really well. It's my preferred. It's super fast, super great. All right, so let's figure out what we have to do. I'm gonna go to this page. I'm gonna open up the GitHub page for this. So features, let's just read about what it is. That link doesn't work for some reason. Cool. So we're just going to go through some of this documentation together. So let's see, zero config setup. Don't know what that means yet. Smoke tests all stories. I don't know what that means either. I do find that I don't really fully understand a lot of the colloquial names for like testing things. Smoke testing, I think, is like, does it work or not? Does it break immediately? I think is maybe a smoke test. I'm not sure. Uh, Let me know if you know what the solid definition is. Um, yeah, Storybook was like laggy with Webpack for sure. I think also they've done a lot of work to restructure Storybook so that does like on-demand building, which is a big important change for the speed of all this stuff. So yeah, um, yeah, Vite feels buttery, butter. Okay, so these I don't have any idea what they mean so far. Let's see. So test stories with play functions. Okay, so it's related to play functions. So that's an important thing to know. Test your stories in parallel in headless browser. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we can test in parallel in a headless browser. I guess that's probably important for like chromatic, I guess. Or maybe this is a way, or I'm using the test runner to test. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. No idea what the definition is trying to say. Saying, yep. Oh, you're saying I should be using Vite React repro base template for this npx storybook repo command. Let's follow along. Yeah, no, you totally could. Yeah, if you want to follow along, you could use. Let's see, what was it? You just wrote it. npx storybook repro, and then you can just select the Vite React. Hey, Joao, what's up? Hey. Smoke Tents is a fancy way to ensure that the stories can run basically as you would with Storybook. Okay, cool, perfect, thanks. I think, yes, I wasn't too far off. It's just kind of like a, does it work? Will it blend type of thing. You remember Will It Blend? Does it blend? Will it blend? Someone who just put like iPads and iPhones and whatever inside of a blender, a Blendtec blender. It was that it Blend. It was like all ads for Blendtec. I don't know. The internet's weird. Okay, get feedback. Let's see. Get feedback from error with link directly to story. Okay, so it links to the story. How am I showing these chat comments? So I know you're using what's the StreamYard? I am using Ecamm Live. It's a paid product, but it's kind of like I'm paying to have Ecamm Live build the OBS setup that I have always wanted, but am really bad at being able to build an OBS. So yeah, Ecamm Live. It's not cheap. It is not cheap, but if you stream enough for work stuff, maybe your company will pay for it as well. Okay, so get feedback from error directly with link. Okay, so it's going to link to the story when a test fails. Okay, cool. That's good. Debugging, let's see, debug them them I assume is tests. Visually and interactively in live browser, so add-on interactions. So you can do live debugging, and this requires add-on interactions. Okay, cool. It's powered by Jest and Playwright. Jest, Playwright. Okay. Watch mode filters, and the convenience you'd expect. Watch. Oh yeah, got it. Watch. Okay. It's more of a Let's see, code coverage reports. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, honestly, you should check out Ecamm Live. I mean, like, if you can, I mean, it's really just a matter of like, I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to set up certain things in OBS. Really, the biggest thing is comments. Like, I want to be able to show comments like this, right? I want to be able to put like feature something and talk about it. Um, and you can use what is it? You can use StreamYard for that. I've used StreamYard before. I think StreamYard's okay. It's not extremely configurable. I guess I didn't love it. So anyway, I decided to try Ecamm, and Ecamm's awesome. I like having hardware for it. Yeah, hardware? No, software. I like having software on my computer that I control. Okay, so let's see. So Power Just, code coverage reports. Okay, cool. And I think another thing too is I have I've been interested in setups that would allow me to use a hardware encoder. So something that so like my computer seems to be chugging along fine right now. I was thinking about starting to do these in 1440, which is my preferred uh, aspect ratio, pixel density, whatever, to record this stuff. 1440 high DPI, because you can zoom in and stuff after the fact, and it doesn't lose a ton of. You can still see what's happening. So I want to be able to do that and stream that way, but I might need a hardware encoder to actually do that. So yeah, I can set up a HDMI directly to a hardware encoder and just send the feed to that, so that my computer won't have to chug as hard and whatever nerd stuff, AV nerd stuff. Yeah, chat messages. That's a hard thing. You try to set that out in OBS, you have to like set up a server and get that running, and then it's weird. It's weird. Nerd sniping jam. It's true. I've been thinking about this stuff so much. I swear, like, I should probably just be a like kind of like producer AV person for a stream instead of trying to stream, because that's the stuff I think about all the time. Okay, so see the announcements of interaction tests. Okay, so how it works. Let's see. See the announcement of interaction tests, testing with Storybook in detail in this blog post. Okay, what's this blog post? Let's go over there real quick. What are they talking about? Okay, interaction testing with Storybook. Okay, cool. This is probably going to be like a better introduction, maybe. Storybook Test Runner uses Jest as a runner and Playwright as a testing framework. Okay, so I feel like that's important. That's an important distinction. Jest is runner, Playwright is framework. Okay. Each one of your stories files is transformed into a spec file. Okay. Into a spec file. And each story becomes a test, which is run in your headless browser. Okay, so what does it do? So converts .stories to spec files. Right? Yeah, and then runs them in the headless browser. Runs. Okay, cool. So that's the high level thing of what it's doing. Okay, so that's helpful to know. Test Runner is simple in design. It just visits each story from a running Storybook instance and makes sure the component is not failing. Okay, so for stories without a play function, it verifies whether the story rendered without any errors. This is essentially a smoke test. Okay, cool. So this kind of affirms what Joao was saying and what I was guessing. These are like, will it blend? For those with a play function, okay, so play functions, if you're not familiar, I'm going to pull those up. Those are totally different things. So play functions, I probably need to qualify that. Oh, there we go. Okay, play functions are interesting. They work with testing library and Jest and the add-ons interaction. So the two things required for this plus testing library, and they allow you to interact with your stories using testing library. So you can kind of enact stuff, and it's really that was not a very good description. Here, code is better. So here, so you can set up a template, right? And then you can play certain actions over it. So email input screen, get labeled by email, select the input, and then actually put something into that field, and then try to validate it, hit submit, all that kind of stuff. So that is what play functions are. What was the relationship to play functions again? So for those with play functions, it also checks for errors in the play functions, and that all assertions passed. This is essentially an interaction test. Document interaction test is okay. Cool. Interaction test testing. Okay, cool. A lot of terminology. I'm gonna start documenting some of these terms. Oops. So terms, we're gonna say we have play functions, smoke test, interaction test. What else do we have? That's the answer to the previous question about smoke test, right? Yeah, totally. It's funny. It's really interesting to me how often when I'm going through this stuff, I'll have a question, and then it's answered. Like I'll spend 5 minutes thinking about it, and then it's answered in like the next sentence or the next paragraph. Happens all the time. I just need to read the document one time and then circle back, I guess. Yeah. So interaction in testing in Storybook, super good, super good. Let's do. I'm gonna. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do is look up component story format 3. This is something else that you might want to check out. Look at this. Wait. So if I find, I think play functions. Look at the way these compose in component story format 3. I'm gonna post this. Cool. So you can look at that link yourself. Oh, is this my chair? Oh yeah, that's my chair. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. That little sliver of chair in front of my green screen. Okay, so look at the way this works. It's like this is one of my favorite things. Like the documentation will eventually be switching over to this CSF3 format. CSF3 is sick. Okay, so let's look at it. So we're gonna create, let's see, so we have, okay, so we're importing testing library. We're going to kind of set up this component. So this is all you have to have for a story is you just component, the component that you want to kind of have stories for. And then this empty one has no like props or anything, but then we can just empty arrow, we can spread out this previous story, like the whole story, spread it out, and then play stuff on top of it. So play these little like user events on top of it, or play multiple events on top of it. And then we can just continue to, like, this is the filled one, which comprises the empty one. And then, filled success can comprise the fill. It's bonkers. Like this is so little lines, and I love that it has this kind of spread operator type of syntax for it, because it's sick. No other way to describe it but sick. Yeah, that's that. Segued. I'm just gonna leave all these open, and I can capture the links later. Okay, see, so if there are any failures, this is essentially interaction test. Okay, if there are any failures, the test run will provide an auto output with the error alongside with a link to the failing story, so you can see the error yourself and debug it directly in the browser. Okay. So raises errors from headless run, I guess. And debug in Storybook via link. Okay, cool. Okay, so Joao says, if you check the official docs and click the drop down from the frameworks, you can select 7.0 and see. Ooh, okay. Storybook.js.org. We're going to go to docs. We're going to go to 7.0 alpha. And let's see. I got to find one. So install what's a story. Nice. Yeah, here we go. Super cool render button. Yeah, so no more template. That's sick. Nicely done. Joao does all the docs, by the way. So if you have questions, Joao's here. Awesome job on this. Super excited to see that hit. Nice. Whew. Okay, cool. Thank you. Super good. Okay, cool. Yeah, composability through spread is like my favorite thing. Like, yeah, that whole idea, like we've been using it for a while now in React. I think JSX spread attributes was maybe the first time that I used it, and then they'd been working on a specification for the spread operator for objects for a while, and that made it in. And yeah, so having that same model, it's like such a good model for this, and it feels very declarative. It's really cool to be able to just kind of compose actions like this. Like, that's the part that's really weird. Like, using spread for asynchronous stuff is neat. Neat. Okay, cool. So so we're within the getted starting. Let's get it starting. So we have yarn add storybook test runner, and then add that to the dev dependencies. Okay, so let's do that. Actually, I may need to, since I already have a process, I'm gonna kill it and okay, that's gonna do some stuff. It's gonna yarn it up, yarn away. Yarn away. Okay, and so then we need to add this. Let me grab that. So into our scripts. So test storybook. That's going to be a new command. We'll add to our scripts. Let's do that. Gotta click over here to hide that. Bummer. Package JSON. We're going to go to scripts. That's a pretty good one. Oh, I don't have oh, I think I disabled all my plugins for some reason. I don't remember why. But yeah, can't auto format. Composability is the new buzzword. Is it the new buzzword, or is it, just a really long-standing buzzword? But yeah, I agree. Spoken an entire composability conference. Yeah. Yep. Composability. Sick. Okay. Okay. So we let's see. How we doing? This is baked yet? Okay. Cool. Actually, wait. Maybe I don't need to run Storybook. Let's see. Okay. So optionally follow the documentation for writing interaction tests and using the add-ons interaction to visualize the interactions with interactive debugging in Storybook. That's a lot of interactions. Okay, so I'm not going to do that yet. So we had, let's see, so kind of like, what's the setup, right? So we have So getting started. So we are going to install the test runner. Also, y'all familiar with this copy link to highlight? It does this text search. Super cool. Because then I can, even though there's not some type of landmark, I can just, go visit exactly that. It's going to highlight that. Sick. Sick. Okay. Okay. So then we need to add the script. Actually, you know what? I said I was going to do that, but I actually like putting the commands in here better because that helps me out in the future. Okay, and then we need to add a script to the package JSON. That didn't work. So then we have this optional thing. So run Storybook. The test runner runs against the running Storybook. Okay. So that is important. So yarn Storybook test. Yeah, no, anytime. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's so good. I mean, it's not particularly robust because, content could suffer little tweaks in the way that, headings probably are less likely to or less inclined to. But, it is cool, if you don't have to have a long lived link, sending someone right to a highlight is awesome. Okay, so we need to run Storybook. I'm going to run it in VS Code this time. So yarn Storybook. Yarn Storybook. So run the test runner. Okay. That opened in a different window, but that's fine. Okay, so we have Storybook open. Okay, and then we need to, I guess in a new terminal, run yarn test Storybook. So we're going to add another one. Yarn test Storybook. Okay, and so time elapsed. Okay, so we see 3 passes. Okay, so I assume that these are the smoke tests because I didn't write any tests. So this is just like, yo, they render. I think. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the first step. I'm feeling very like trepidatious about this. Okay, so yarn test Storybook. Okay. Got a hop for my one-on-one. Hey, have a good one-on-one. I hope it's awesome. Hope they give you a raise. More money. More money, less problems. That's what I wish for you, Anthony. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Okay, let's see, Storybook. Okay, so it says the runner assumes that Storybook is running at port 6006. Okay, cool. So that's important to know. Kind of a parenthetical, I guess. Assumes running at port 6006. Let's see if we can change that. So there's an option. 2 options. And target URL. Okay, cool. So we can just set that as like an environment variable, I guess. Okay, so just compatibility. The Storybook runner comes with Jest installed as an internal dependency. In case you are also running Jest as a dependency in your project, in order to avoid possible conflicts, you should use compatibility version test. Okay, so this is a. So that's a gotcha. We got another gotcha here, which is just versions. That's a little bit of a gotcha. Okay, cool. CLI. Okay, and then we have this whole, not linkable. What do I have this? Elements. Do we have an ID? Oh, no ID. Okay, cool. So just gonna highlight, copy link to highlight. This is the CLI. Okay, so what do we have? So we have help, standard, index.json, run in JSON mode, automatically detected, requires, okay, cool. I'm not gonna cover, okay, so this is the coverage thing that we were talking about, that's cool. There's a watch mode, that's cool. Browsers define browsers to run tests in one or multiple of Chromium, Firefox, WebKit. Okay, got it. Eject creates a local configuration file to override defaults of the test runner. Okay, cool. Configure. The test runner is based on Jest and will accept most of the CLI options that Jest does. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it forwards Jest CLI options. Interesting. Okay. Test runner runs in Jest Playwright, and you can pass test environment options to further configure it. Test environment options. Okay. Running against the deployed Storybook. So by default, the test runner assumes that you're running Storybook against a locally served Storybook port 6006. If you want to, why 6006? Joao, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm curious if you know what the story is behind 6006. If you want to define a target URL, so it runs, okay, so we got that, we covered that. So index.js mode, by default, the test runner transforms your story files into tests. Yep, we got that. Also supports a secondary index.json mode, which runs directly against your Storybook index data, which, depending on your Storybook version, is located in stories.json. Okay. This is probably maybe beyond the scope of what I'll be covering in this video. So if you're using Storybook 7, unsure. Maybe this is for that. Oh, yeah. So to run index mode, first make Storybook has a v4 index file JSON. Okay. You know what? I'm going to call it on this. I don't think that this is going to be super critical to what we're doing right now, or what this video is about, or the video I'm working on is about. But we'll see. So running in the CLI, running against deployed Storybooks on GitHub Actions deployment. So we can run this against a deployed Storybook. That's cool. Running against locally built Storybooks in CI. Okay. Whew, that's a lot. Okay, so how do we write a test for this? Test runner supports code coverage with a coverage flag. Okay, so code coverage could be kind of cool. Let me see what that does. I don't know if I want to set that up right now. Okay, let's just run it and see what happens. Coverage. Isn't it the Flask deploy port? It could be. Yeah. Flask. The Python framework, the like Python micro framework or whatever. Let's see. Storybook still running. Okay, why did that fail? So test suites 3 tests, 8 failed. That's weird. So Storybook test that worked the first time. Works again. But when I add coverage, it fails. Probably because I didn't set it up. Manual configuration of Istanbul. Yeah, it must be it. I must have to set it up, instrument it first. That's fine. I'm not interested in doing that right now. So I'm going to put that in follow-ups. So code coverage. Whew, it is hot in this room with this light on. I'm gonna start sweating in a second. Okay, coverage. we only have a 5-minute video, so I don't think we're gonna get into setting up code coverage and whatnot. Maybe. Yep, here, and I think that port came from way back in the day, really, really, really early versions. Okay, cool, awesome. I wasn't sure if there was some kind of backstory, some hero journey. Okay, cool. So that's about code coverage. Merge code. Okay, so this whole section is about code coverage. DOM snapshot recipe. The post render function provides a playwright page instance of which you can use for DOM snapshot testing. Okay, so what does that mean? Storybook test runner JS. Okay. Post render. Okay. The root element wraps the story. From Storybook 7.0 onwards, this selector should be bang storybook, or sorry, hash storybook root. Okay. When you run with stories JSON, tests are generated in a temporary folder and the snapshots get stored alongside. You will need to eject and configure custom snapshot resolver to store them elsewhere, e.g. when, okay, cool. Whew. This is intense. DOM snapshot recipe. I am too tired for this. Image snapshot recipe. Okay, cool. So there's a number of recipes. So that's worth noting. Recipes. I mean, honestly, right now I'm just getting the landscape. Global utility functions. Okay, whew. There's a lot going on here. Okay. So we have it running. Now I need to get a test in. I'd like to author a test. So right now, because these are failing, we actually get the benefit of seeing what they're attempting. So error occurred when evaluating code coverage. The code story is not instrumented. Okay, cool. It's a nice error. So we know that it's an instrumentation problem. Again, had I read this, I would not have had to guess why it was failing. So always read the error. And then, yeah, so this is just our smoke test. So while we did not write a test because we have a story, we get an automatic smoke test for that story. And those are the tests that are failing. So all of these smoke tests. A smoke test per, so let's see. So we have test suites. Those are going to be our 3 components. So button, header, and page. But in each of those, we have some additional stories. So that adds up to the 8 field tests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's see. Yeah, high-powered fans. Yeah, except they make so much noise. And then it'll just be like, I'm trying to talk. See, so Joao says, don't take me literally on this, but that DOM snapshot recipe is the equivalent to the snapshot add-on. Okay, so let's see. Oh, sneeze coming on. Snapshot add-on. So Storybook snapshot add-on, story shots. Is this the one? No, this is story shots. Take code snapshots for every story automatically with Jest. Is this the one we're talking about? We'll see. Okay, cool. So we have this. We need to write something. Okay, so configuration. So we got this going. It is operating. We need to write a test. So let's see. So we only have smoke tests at the moment. So when we run this test suite, I'm going to put watch on here so that I don't have to keep running it every time. This ran successfully. So we're going to run all tests again just to make sure. Yes. Okay, that's working. To some extent, yes. Okay. Interactions. Okay, that's something else. That's not what we want. I want to get back to that blog post, I think. So execute tests, runner, click to debug. Okay, cool. So this is the interaction testing with Storybook post. You write Storybook Storybook runs tests. Okay, cool. So this is this. So this is testing React though. So this is, I think, the interaction testing one. That one's not going to really help us. Test runner, automatic accessibility test with Storybook. This one I think probably will. So I don't necessarily want to go this far, but maybe there's some information for us here. So I think this part of it is set up for us. Maybe. Interesting. I am so incredibly lost already. So I guess it's good that I'm the one making this video. I just, like, it's so weird. I wonder if I have the, like, I don't have a correct mental model about this yet, because like I just want to, like, what's the first test that I can do that just demonstrates only this? Yeah, so that post is actually really great. Like, if you want to do automated, man, I keep hitting the top there. If you want to do automated accessibility tests, yeah, this is a sick post. Post by Varun. I will add that here. But it goes a little bit further than I want to for this. So I'm going to actually add this. So git add that, git commit. This will be kind of minimal setup. So I guess we can go in different directions. You know, maybe that would help sort out each piece of it. So which one's this? So this is play functions, okay. Yeah, I guess instead of waffling around this, let's create a branch. So git branch, no, git checkout branch. What is this? Accessibility. Okay, so let's run through this tutorial. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? I will learn more than just trying to figure it out on my own. So, okay, so test accessibility as you code. Okay, I want to jump right into what we're doing. Reference setup guide. Accessibility tests. Okay. For more information about using and configuring the A11Y add-on. Okay. Catch accessibility regressions automatically. So changes to component can unintentionally introduce new accessibility issues. Okay. We want to run acts on all stories at once via the Storybook test runner. It's a standalone utility powered by Jest and Playwright that checks for render errors in stories. Let's go ahead and set it up. Okay, so we're going to, I'm using yarn here. So yarn add, I don't know if that D option remains the same, but I think I can, dev dependency, I think it's different. I think it's dev. And actually, let me see what's already in here. So package JSON, what are our dev dependencies? So do we have Jest? No. Do we have test runner? Yes. Do we have Axe Playwright? No. Okay, so I don't need all those. I just need to install Jest and Axe Playwright. And it's all Playwright dependencies. Okay, so we can do that first. Yarn add. Okay, so that's going to take a bit. Add Playwright, and then did it add it to the right? Oh, I didn't do dev, so it's going to do it as stupid. Let's see. Can I just move these down? That's good, right? That works. I think. Let's see. All you need is Axe Playwright. Okay, so because I already have Jest installed through the test runner, I just need Axe Playwright. Is that the story, Joao? Check the docs for the test runner. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it did say something about Jest compatibility. Oh man, I don't know why they're not going to where they need to go. So Storybook test runner comes with Jest installed. Okay, so let's is it yarn remove Jest? And make sure that that all works. Okay, so we have this. So we're gonna go through. This is gonna be our notes on the. I probably spelled that wrong. So we're gonna just. See yarn add. I think it's dev. See yarn dev install. Is it a, how is it done? Save dev. Yeah, dash dash dev, and then that will be Axe Playwright. Okay, now I think I already moved it. Yeah, Axe Playwright. Okay, cool. So we're good there. Okay, cool. So we got that. So I'm gonna blub 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 blub. What was the command I used? Yarn add dev Axe Playwright. Okay, so we got Playwright, and then we need to npx Playwright install with deps. Okay, so this is gonna do like a global install of Playwright. Actually, which Playwright? Do I have it installed? Okay, so no Playwright installed. Okay, so we're gonna run this npx. Do that. Okay, you can then integrate these accessibility tests into your test runner automatic pipeline using the Storybook test runner and Axe Playwright. So add a new configuration file inside of your Storybook directory with the following inside. Okay, so we're going to, so we need to add a new file in our Storybook directory. New file, Storybook test runner.js. Okay, that's gonna get all of this. Okay, and what? Okay, do I have Playwright now? Let's install Playwright with deps. Okay, so that seems to have worked, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so. Okay, so const inject Axe check alley require Axe Playwright. Okay, so we're importing these two functions. Yeah, function. Function, yes. From Axe Playwright. Export async pre-render. So that's a hook, I believe, from Storybook. Post-render. So it's going to wait to inject Axe on the page, and then we will get a detailed report. Okay, cool. So we got that in there. Let's add that to our notes. Okay, pre-render and post-render are convenient hooks that allow you to configure the test runner to perform additional tasks. We're asking those hooks to inject Axe into a story, and once it renders, run the accessibility tests. Okay, so it's going to inject Axe and then do the things that Axe lets us do. Okay, so you'll notice a few options passed to the check alley function. We've set up Axe to start a story's root element and then traverse the DOM. Okay, cool. So we're gonna add another script. Package JSON into our scripts, and that didn't work. What time is it by you, Joao? Thanks for being here. See, then start your Storybook in one terminal and window with the open. So run. Okay, cool. So we still have Storybook running. I'm gonna restart it just because we installed some new stuff. Who knows? Maybe I need to do that. Okay, that's running. I'm gonna kill that terminal. This one I opened after we installed Playwright. So we're gonna do yarn test Storybook. So start Storybook in one terminal window with the npm run Storybook, and then test runner in another with npm test Storybook. Okay, so we got to run that, and then I guess in a third we'll do the other one. I don't know. Export these test results. Okay, cool. 8 p.m. Okay, cool. Post dinner. What do you have for dinner tonight? Anything good? We've been making dinner at home all week. Probably the best thing that we did was we made spaghetti one night. Make a pretty good spaghetti. We had some left over. It was like a meat bolognese. I don't know, is that how we pronounce that word, spaghetti? We had a little bit of that left over, and so I was like, you know what would be amazing? I was driving in the car with my son. It's like, you know what would be amazing is if we just made kind of like meatball sandwiches, but just from the leftover spaghetti bolognese sauce. So we did, and it was awesome. Got some Italian hoagie bread, just lathered that stuff on there, put some cheese in there, toasted it up. Woo! Ooh! So good. Okay, so where are we at right now? Okay, so we have... Okay, so this says no accessibility violations detected. But, okay, we haven't run this command yet. I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to run it and see what happens. Okay, so I ran the CI test and that did the same thing. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. So what does this do? So I didn't even read what it does. Okay, so yarn test Storybook, max workers 2. Okay, so it just runs the test Storybook command. Okay, so we haven't gotten there yet. So export test results. By default, the test runner, by default, the results are reported via CLI. To expect them instead, switch to get violations functions. Use Node API to save them to a JSON file. Whew, that's a big one. Snapshot the accessibility tree to check page structure. Blind and visually impaired users rely on assistive technology like screen readers to understand and interact with your UI. Okay, yep. Accessibility tree, snapshotting the accessibility tree. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, I am not seeing this though. And so I'm wondering if maybe that is because it's using demos from this. So maybe the next step that I need to go through is this whole like testing, accessibility testing handbook thing. Okay, so are there, accessible args, inaccessible args. Okay, cycling through book, configure. Okay, what am I missing? Okay, so while working on a component, you can cycle through its stories to verify its important. Okay, so we have that. Refer to the setup guide for more information on using and configuring the accessibility add-on. Okay, so we have it configured, I think. What am I missing? Okay, that's running. Still haven't had dinner. Whoa, it's so late. Oh, fasuli. Yeah. Chicken, broccoli. Whew. It's good. It's good. Move you right over here. It's so good. I love chicken, broccoli. Okay. There's a vacuum going right here. Okay, Byron, what you got to say? Yeah, I think you might have the accessibility tests executing against the stories that are in the project, but they're accessible, so there aren't any failures. Okay, good call. Let's see. So to see it fail, make it unaccessible in some axe detectable way. Okay, that is a good point. Let's see what we got. Let's see how we can do that. Oh, also, I did not save that file. Oh man, if that's it, how? Oh man, I'm sorry. Super sorry. That's all I can say. I'm sorry. Whew. Okay. So I'm an idiot. First of all, I'm an idiot. Didn't save my files. That's a big bummer. Now that I have saved that file, it is indeed working. And so we're seeing what we're supposed to be seeing. So the test runner configuration did work. Let's see. These errors are hard to parse at the screen dimensions that I have, but we will do our best nonetheless. Let's see, can I zoom out? What's the best way to zoom out? Okay. Man, it's a big one. Big boy. Oh, we're getting so close. Here, wait. Let me pop this out into its own. Replace tiled window. Make window full screen. Okay, cool. There we go. We finally got it. Okay, so what do we have here? Chromium, console.log 0. So color contrast, Sirius ensures the contrast between foreground and background color. Okay, cool. So how many failures do we have? We have 3 failed tests, 4 failed, and 4 passed. Okay, so let's run this with the watch attach. It sounds like a mountain in like Yellowstone or something. So we're going to run the failed tests, and we're going to, let's see, was that, oh, let's see, I think the button one, button stories, I thought it was that, so we're going to, only failures. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Okay, look, let's run this again. Run it again. Okay, so I thought that there was a failure in the button, but maybe I'm mistaken. What was the first one? This is in the logged out, logged in, primary. Yeah, primary button. Had it. So what am I doing wrong here? Was it only failures? Watch only failures. That should be the name of this stream, probably. Only failures. Okay, test, run just the failed tests. Okay, cool. Press F to quit only failures. Okay, so we're in failures. We save that, but nothing happens. So I'm going to exit out of that. So save, run all again. Okay. I don't use Jest a lot, so learn on the fly. Let's see. So let's find our button one. And so in the primary story, what do we have? We have a contrast issue. Accessibility violation was detected. Color contrast serious. Sure, the contrast between foreground and background meets WCAG 2 AA contrast ratio threshold. And then this is the selector for it. So I'm trying to remember background color. So if we set a background color, wait, that's a control. So background color, what is it right now? So button primary, so let's set this to black. So black and white, did that test go away? Okay, cool, so that did work. Playwright test, page, so we see logged out, logged in, and that button one went away. Okay, cool. Okay, so making some progress. What time is it? Oh, it's been an hour. I should probably shut this down. Those of you who are here, is there anything else that you'd like to see before we, oh shoot, before I kind of like wind this thing down? That is not what I wanted. Want to exit full screen. Oh my gosh, so many clicks. I should just use some kind of like window tiler. Okay, doop. If you're here, if anyone's still here, you're awesome. Glad you're here. But also, is there anything that you want me to cover or fix? So what we got so far is that we, so narrative. So what can we do that would get us using the test runner really quickly in a reasonable way? What did I do to break the docs? Okay. We could intro through accessibility testing, which would be very interesting. We have a fairly minimal setup at this point. Joao, gotta bounce. Thank you for the stream. I hope you have a great weekend, and thank you for the recipe tip. Oh, yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the help pointing me in the right direction. Thanks for all the amazing work that you're doing on docs. I appreciate you. And yeah, glad that we did this. Thanks for helping me out here today. Okay, so we could, looking at this, so we have primary. I'm going to open up add-ons, interaction. I thought accessibility was set up in these by default, but maybe I am mistaken. Yeah, I guess that's just the accessibility add-on. So that's not in here. Okay, no problem. So the accessibility add-on is not in here, but we could use this to set up tests for accessibility violations, and then we could fix these violations, which would be cool, I guess. So yeah, how many are there? And then how many, how many would we need to fix? So we got one, accessibility violations detected, value to, so the question is, so we have this test runner. Yeah, I'm not sure what the next steps are. So we learned how to set it up. We learned how to add a test for this and kind of find some of these violations. But what is the outcome? I guess the outcome is now if somebody adds a story, it will fail this test, which is cool. So outcome, someone adds a story with an unacceptable value, test fail, which is cool. Yeah, I think that's probably a good, I think that's a good narrative. Probably get us most of the way there. I think the idea is that after you set up the tests, so this is Byron, after you set up the tests, you implicitly get tests from the stories. Yeah, that is nice. And then it seems though like we probably want to add, so I guess the question is like maybe you don't touch the accessibility stuff at all and just add more stories, and then just kind of like show that number going up. Maybe have a story that introduces an error that doesn't render. That could be something. This is interesting because for me, I tend to think about testing component libraries and all that stuff from the visual testing perspective. So like for me, it's like integrating with chromatic. But I guess the value here is that you get those smoke tests, which is the first kind of thing where it's like this component renders. I mean, it's interesting because we know that it renders if we're running it in Storybook, and we have to run Storybook to run these tests anyway, so it doesn't feel like there's a huge amount of value there. But I guess that this is more like I don't have to go through and actually look at my Storybook to know that something isn't rendering anymore. That's helpful. Yeah, stories and interactions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the interactions piece is interesting. I think that's actually a really good point, is like what is the, like, what's that nuance between, like, is this library itself, like, is this just kind of like a core thing to like the actual feature that something like add-on interaction provides? Like, is that really the core unlock? Like, is someone not actually going to be using this library a ton? In which case, should I tackle it from the other side, like just using the play functions, talking about interaction testing? That is maybe the, like, I'm having a hard time finding the value here to like a person who's just kind of, you know, has a component library and wants to improve it. So maybe I have to go from a layer above and talk about interaction, add-on interaction. That could be an interesting thing. Like maybe this is too low level a concept. With that, it is hot as blazes in this room, so I'm probably going to call this. Think about this a little bit more. Maybe I'll do another stream on the add-on interaction stuff, because I think that that's probably the direction we'll go, because I think there's a lot more value there. You get a lot more out of the box. Maybe a little bit more magic, but also just more, less this feeling of like, what did I actually get from this? Anyway, thanks for being here. If you like this kind of stuff from me, consider subscribing and liking this. That helps me out a ton. I'll try to do another one of these next week. Topic TBD, to be determined. But yeah, Byron, thanks for being here. Joel, thanks for being here. Anthony, thanks for being here. Thanks for all of your help today. I appreciate you, and looking forward to getting this next video out on the Storybook channel. So, be awesome. Peace. Now I just got to figure out how to stop Ecamm Live.